Yo, what up? It's your boy Abel. I'm here to show y'all how to use Reason as a sound module with the MPC 1000. Pretty simple process. I see a lot of cats out there, man, trying to explain it and get everything a nice upload by Spark, but there's a lot of people starting some trouble, so make it real simple for you, man. I mean, track right there, split, big up the split. Fire! Yo, check it out. Alright, here we go. That's my little girl right there. That's Trinity. That is my purebred beast. Anyway, back to the subject. Alright, let's get this started. We're going to use the MPC 1000 to have sounds come in through Reason. So we're using Reason as a sound module for the MPC 1000 so we can record the lovely bass lines and key melodies. We're using the sounds, the rich sounds right from Reason, instead of sampling or trying to, record something that you're playing then try to sample that into the MP. That just gets kind of tedious. It's not really worth it to me anyhow. But there's a lot of people asking for tutorials on this. I've seen Sparks did one, a lot of people did one. I'm gonna do one, I guess, real simple. Some people didn't understand some of them, so check it out. Reason here selected. I have the sequencer, one screen, and I have the rack on another screen. You need to have a MIDI controller. That's obvious. Everyone knows that, I'm assuming. MIDI controller I'm using is the M-Audio 49E key station. Okay? Now, that's triggering my sounds from Reason. That's playing the sounds out. This is Reason 5. Now, I have it open here. Now, you see where it says Advanced MIDI? Right there. I have that selected, so it shows this box right down here, which shows in turn that I have bus A selected, which is showing that I have a MIDI Sport Uno device on my bus A. So, let me zoom out of here a minute. Let me go down to the floor here. See that little green light there, that little device, little oval shaped device? That's an M-Audio MIDI Sport Uno. That has one wire that goes to the computer USB, and on the other end it has two MIDI connections. One in and one out. Okay? Now, the key station is plugged in to the computer also by USB cable, which is right here. It gives it its power, and it is plugged into the computer by USB cable, which therefore in turn is also the MIDI data cable. It sends the information back and forth through that cable, so you still have a MIDI slot available to use. Because I know some people were confused thinking that that was just the power. No, that's power and that is your MIDI. Okay? Now, here in Reason, I have some things going on down here in the rack. I have a Thor. And if I zoom in here, where I showed you guys underneath the Advanced MIDI, bus A selected with my MIDI Sport Uno, and over here on my channel 1, I have Thor. That's something I have on my rack. That's what I have selected for channel 1, Thor, which is some sine bass, just some sine bass I was using. Now, back to the key station. Over here on the key station, if I play this, because I have that power / MIDI cable plugged in, you can hear the bass play. You hear the bass. Now, in order to get that bass into the MPC, what you need to do is, remember that little M-Audio MIDI Sport? You take one of the connections from that, and if you look behind my MPC, I just have two MIDI cables connected. This is one from the little MIDI Sport, and this is the other. Remember I said it has two? Those two MIDI cables are coming from the MIDI Sport. The one that is sitting down and not being used right this second anyhow is the one that says 2 MIDI in. The one that says 2 MIDI out is going to the back of the MPC where it says MIDI out, and that's on A. So you plug that one into there and you leave it just as is. Like I said, the one that says 2 MIDI in is left alone. The one that says 2 MIDI out goes to the back of the MPC, first channel, it should be channel A, that says MIDI out. And then what we want to do is, since we have another space available back here in the key station, we need to get the MIDI out and into the MP. Now, we put a MIDI cable there. This is just looping around and coming in to the MPC here. This section right here, where it says MIDI in. So the MIDI is going out from the keyboard and coming into the MPC. On the MPC, you select mode, and the hotkey or the pad for the MIDI is pad 9 over here. You hit that and that will bring you up to this screen. Make sure it says all, as track, off, and on. That's pretty much it. The sync you can leave alone. But I have mine set to MIDI clock and MMC on. That's for, you know, controlling play start and all that good stuff. But yes, you want to make sure that says all, as track, off, and on. Just go to your main screen. You're going to go here to track, whatever track you're on, make sure it is set to MIDI. Turn your program off so you don't hear any sounds that you have in the MPC. They won't be playing while you're playing the sounds from the keyboard. That's triggering Reason. And over here I selected my MIDI channel 1A because I have this selected up here in 1A. Now you remember, there's a little bit more light on the situation. Let me bring it up here. Now you see MIDI in. That MIDI cable is going right to the back of the keyboard. MIDI out from the keyboard to MIDI in of the MPC. And the MIDI out, which is this one here, my finger's kind of in the way, is going to the M-Audio MIDI Sport, which is down here on the ground, which is going into the computer. Screensaver on. Let's get that backlit up. Now, you can hear this. This isn't actually a beat. It's the very fresh beginning of a beat, but you can hear the one strum of the bass in there. Let me not do it this way. Let me just come down and show you here. Keyboard. Got my sine bass on. MPC set up. Now what I'm going to do is record. Now we just stop that. Now listen to this. Just play the MP and it is playing exactly what I played on the keyboard. So I'm using Reason as a sound module. It is recording sounds from Reason that I'm playing on the keyboard into the MPC, so you can actually, you know, play out melodies and bass lines and anything else you want. It's a simple setup, a couple MIDI connections like that, a couple settings there, and you shouldn't have a problem. If you do, try to PM me, subscribe, maybe I can help you out. Peace.